You guys hear me well? Excellent. First, thank you for coming. I hope you're excited to learn more about the future of Jira administration. All right, let's get started. So, first, few words about me. I'm Toudjarski. I'm one of the founders of Botron. I used to be a Jira admin when we started the company. I'm still an admin. I'm still managing several Jira instances, and this is the genesis of all the tools we have. So we're going to talk a little bit about our mission, the challenges that we're trying to solve. We're going to show a little bit how it works. We cover some of the use case, and then we're going to talk about our roadmap, because what we're going to show is still a young product. Okay? So our mission is to provide a better future for the Jira administration, which means a more efficient work in general with less frustration. Okay? So we're looking into efficiency. How many of you have waited minutes and minutes waiting for the custom field page to load up? Okay, more than a few hands. Excellent. All right. How many of you knew when you're making certain changes of your configuration, what's going to be the impact of overall system? Okay, very little. Accuracy of those changes as to, hey, if I modify this custom field, are there going to be other unnecessary or undesired changes of the system? The accuracy and power needs to go back to efficiency. You need to go back and forth multiple times. And then, how many of you, by just doing your normal day-to-day job, have created a corrupted configuration, like broken filters, audio board is not working? Those are all frustration points that I personally have experienced. I know spoken to a lot of the current customers of our company have experienced, and so we're trying to tackle those pain points. Okay, so what the use cases that we're trying to cover are when you're making changes, understanding better the impact of those changes, to be able to tackle optimizations of your configuration, like dealing with unnecessary custom fields, unused apps or add-ons, to create corruption-free configurations, and understand more about the usage. All this without requirement of doing advanced scripting or advanced SQL, which seems to be like a normal job requirement for any Jira administrator, for them to be able to do their job. So this whole vision started to materialize in our new add-on called Power Admin. It is bundled with Configuration Manager for Jira. So if some of you have already using that, you're going to get this as a module inside Configuration Manager for Jira. All right? So experience Jira like never before. Generally, Atlassian been looking mainly to the end users. There was not a lot of attention to the actual experience of Jira administrators, and that's what we're trying to improve and provide you better tools for that. First, single search page for everything. You don't need to go back and forth from screen to screen, waiting them to load. You can search for every single object in your configuration. Screens, custom fields, workflow, status, priorities, resolution, all of them. So this is how a search page for custom fields look like. You can see quick information regarding the names, where they have global context, what type, what's the ID. How many of us have troubles finding the IDs of different objects? Okay, and you can quickly see if this custom field is used by how many projects. In this case, 504, 1, etc., etc. Now let's take a look at different advanced filters that we provide for this page. So this goes back to the performance optimizations. You can find which custom fields used for specific projects. You can find which custom fields are used in non-projects. Okay. You can, for all of those, you can perform bulk actions. You can bulk prefix custom fields. You can merge, replace, or bulk delete them. Okay? Those are all part of the performance optimization task that we hear so much about performance. Minimize the custom fields, minimize the custom fields. Now there is a way for you to do that without going down to the database. Okay? So this is how a single page for a one custom field looks like. Here at the top you can see a summary of all these usages. So you can see it's used across 508 projects, 18 screens, 5 workflows, 7 filters, 3 dashboards, 0 agile boards. Now, if you're making changes on this custom field, you know the potential impact on your user base. Further down, you can see all those places where all the screens, all the workflows and filters where this custom field is being used. So you can quickly even configure those objects from here, or you can perform your normal Jira configuration actions from here at the top. So all the actions in one place. So this is the usage, the dependent objects. You can use those objects as well to navigate. So now let's take a look at how you perform a change management, and specifically how you perform a change management in Jira without creating corrupted configurations. Okay, we're gonna take a look at one of the simplest examples of change, a custom field rename. How many of you guys have done custom field renames? All right, pretty much everyone. How many of you have experienced the negative effects of that? All right, more than half, great. All right, so you're familiar with this page. This is how you rename a custom field. This page provides you in extreme amount of important and useful information, such as the name of the field, and that's pretty much it. All right, when you change that, you don't know what's gonna be impacted. Let's give it a try. All right, so you're all familiar with integrity check for Jira, which is a module in Configuration Manager. What typically happens when you rename a custom field, most of the filters which use that field are going to be broken because now the name is different. When you rename this for this page here, okay, nothing changes, okay? So we have a way to report those so you can fix them manually. So that's your current experience for those who use Configuration Manager. For those of you who don't use Configuration Manager, this usually comes back as an incident from the users. Hey, my filter stopped working, or my Agile board, you know, the Streamlabs are all messed up, okay? Just because those configurations become corrupted. Okay, let's take a look how this works from Power Admin. From the same single object page, there is an inline edit dialog which you can use, change, and what, because we know all the usages, we're going to update all those. So this transforms your regular Jira actions into safe actions which you can use without corrupting your configuration. Okay? The same thing works for delete, which is even more volatile operation using the normal Jira UI, but we're gonna as well keep it safe. We're gonna update all the references of that object so nothing gets broken. Okay? Let's take a look at the configuration optimization use case. So, as I mentioned, you can filter all the available custom fields based on their project usage, or you can filter for those which are not used in any project. You can filter based on whether they have global context. Those are the fields that contribute even more to degrading your performance. Or you can even search for certain fields which haven't been updated for the last, let's say, 1 year. Okay? Or have been used in a very small number of fields. There are a variety of sessions here throughout the summit which talk about migrations, optimizations, and they go out down to performing a logic like this. Until now, this typically requires scripting on JQL. Now we build a purpose UI so that you can able to perform that function much easier. And again, bulk actions are available for those as well. Usage. How many of you know, out of the 30 add-ons that you might use, which one I use where and how much? Anyone knows? How many of you don't know where your add-ons are being used? All right, most of them, okay. How many of you trying to find the information if you're planning an upgrade to assess, hey, this is gonna be a dangerous upgrade, okay? How many are trying to find this information when renewal time comes? If it's just been installed or really using it across the organization. Maybe you're gonna send email to everyone asking, are you guys using that add-on? All right, that's not a really good way of doing that. So by knowing everything about Jira configurations, we decided to implement that functionality as well. All right, so when you go to the apps, you can see a list of all the apps that are being used, and when you drill down, one of them you can see that, hey, issue matrix is being used in 506 projects and contributes to custom fields. So you can find this information across custom fields, workflows, filters, gadgets, events, and so on, okay? Bear in mind, if something that is completely standalone, has nothing to do with the configuration, for us it's hard to run right now, okay? So these are the functionality that we have right now. We have a roadmap to continue to implement more functionality, such as right now we're version 1. we don't support each and every object, like workflow statuses are very important. Okay, users. How many of you, when someone leaves the company, all the filters and dashboard that they own become unusable simply because you cannot change the ownership? Okay, we're going to provide that functionality. How many of you knows how many issues that users have contributed? Okay, how much work that has been done? So we're going to provide that. That's one of the objects that we're going to provide in the future. So right now we have a feature parity for the most common objects in the configuration with administration UI. In the future, you'll be able to do absolutely every single day-to-day administrative task for Power Admin. Okay, it is a much more efficient interface to do those changes. All the actions are safe, and we're going to provide more actions and more functionality, such as the one that I showed for merge, replace, prefix, as well one of my favorite functions, which is a copy. How many of you have to recreate a whole screen from scratch, okay, by simply because there's no copy function, and then you do a few changes there, okay? So again, this is the second product that we do based on our experience, personal experience as Jira administrators, and we continue to do that. So if you have any pain points that you want to share with us, that you think that's going to fit into the vision of that product, please let us know. My colleagues with the yellow t-shirts are here to talk to you, as well. We're at the front at booth 811 as the future of Jira administration. Okay, in version 2 we're going to implement fully all the bulk actions. These are primarily for optimization scenario. Okay, in the version 3, because you're going to do some repetitive action, you're going to capture most of those. We're going to create some dashboards based on that. Okay, so out of the 608 custom fields, there are 10 which are good candidates for optimization, or you have a good amount of users which haven't logged recently. Okay, information that we can drive you to an action quickly without you need to go into that. Okay, right now Power Admin is available as standalone add-on, which is free, as well as a module, as I mentioned in the beginning, for configuration manager for Jira. When we fully finish that vision of version 3, the add-on is going to become commercial. We want to be honest upfront. That's our plan, so there's no wrong expectations at the end. Okay, that's all I have. We have a few minutes for questions.